about to start my workout for today, so I hope you will join me for that. And then please stick around because it is Mobility Monday. So immediately after the workout, we are going to be doing our weekly Monday mobility challenge together. Now, as you can see, I have my pink Oogie Ball here today, but you do not need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout because I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. All you're going to really need is something soft beneath you, like an exercise mat or a yoga mat. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice. And if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything. Now, my workout today is going to take 30 minutes. However, I am including this workout on my playlists of 10-minute workouts, 20-minute workouts, and 30-minute workouts because the workout is going to be split up into two parts. Part one is going to be 10 minutes long. So if you chose this workout from my playlist of 10-minute workouts because you just want to do a 10-minute workout today, great. You're going to do part one with me and then you can dip. All right, if you chose this workout from my playlist of 20-minute workouts because you are looking to do a 20-minute workout today, fantastic. You can use the chapter markers to skip ahead to part two of the workout. We can do part two together and that's it, that's your workout. Of course, if you want your workout to be 30 minutes long, you can do parts 1 and 2 with me. As always, there are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, either part 1 of the workout or part 2 of the workout, please just go ahead and use the chapter markers to navigate to whatever section of the video is relevant to you. If you would like to see the exercises demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So starting with part one is going to be a 10-minute AMRAP, A-M-R-A-P, that stands for as many rounds as possible. So I'm going to show you a little combo, and then we're just going to repeat that combo as many times as we can before our 5 minutes are up. So it's going to look like this. You're going to start by standing in the center of your mat and your feet are going to be out wider than shoulder width, okay? And you're going to start with a squat, so make sure your shoulders are back and down, your chest is lifted high and your abs are tight. You're going to bend your knees and sink down into this squat, and as you do that, you're going to sweep your arms down in front of you, and as you straighten your legs, you're going to stretch your arms up overhead. Now, from here, you're going to go into a side lunge. So you're going to shift your weight into one foot as you bend the knee. Make sure you're pushing your booty back, keeping your chest lifted high, elongating your spine so that your back is flat and the weight is in the heel of this lunging leg. Now you're going to pivot so that you are facing this wall that's on the same side as the leg that is bent. And you're going to bend your other knee so that it comes down to touch the mat. So now you're down here in this deep lunge position with both knees at more or less a 90-degree angle. Now from here, you're going to, my toes are curled under, I'm just going to lay the top of my back foot on the mat. I'm going to lean forward and place my hands down on the mat so that they are on either side of this front foot. Now I'm going to pick up this front foot and I'm going to extend the leg behind me. And from here, I'm going to do a 1-knee push-up. So make sure that you are keeping your body in one straight line. Your head is in line with your spine. Don't sink down into your shoulders while you're in this position. Press the mat away from you so that your shoulders are away from your ears. Your abs should be super strong and tight and engaged. Now, after I do my push-up, I'm going to take this back foot and put it down, curl my toes under, and now again I'm going to press the mat away from me. I'm pressing my hands and my back foot into the mat, and I'm going to lift this front knee and tuck it in towards my chest. Now reverse the movement, lower the knee back down with control. Now I'm going to pick up this back foot, step it forward again. I know it's a lot, but there's a flow to it, and we're almost done, okay? And now from here, I'm going to do the world's greatest stretch, that's what it's called. So I'm going to take this hand that's on the opposite side of my front foot, and I'm going to place my forearm down. I'm gonna pick up this hand and place my forearm down on the mat in front of my hand is in front of my foot, and I'm going to pick up the other hand. I'm going to twist my body thoracically, reaching this hand up towards the ceiling. Now I'm going to reverse the movement, bring this hand back down, pick up the other hand, and I'm going to sit up. And now for just a second, I'm going to take my hand and place it on the inside of this front knee, and I'm going to press outwards on my knee, feeling a nice little stretch in my hip flexor. And then I'm going to bring the knee back so that my leg is square again with my hip. And now I'm just going to lean back. I'm going to push my hips back towards this back heel and stretch my hamstring here and stretch my hip flexors. And then I'm going to lift my booty back up, return to my lunge position. And that's it, okay? I know it's a lot, but there's a flow to it. So once you I'll talk you through the first few sets as we're doing the workout, but that's it. From here, you're just going to take this back foot, curl the toes back under so that you can stand, and then you're going to pivot so that you're facing forward again, return to your starting position, okay? So we're going to alternate sides with each set. So let's do one more set together a little bit faster so that you start to see the flow of it, okay? So I'll talk you through it, but we're gonna move a little bit faster. I'm not gonna go into as much detail. So bend the knees and squat, sweeping the arms down in front of you as you squat. As you straighten the legs, you're stretching your arms up overhead. Now bending the other knee, coming down into your side lunge. Pivot to face this wall. Bend your back knee all the way down so it touches the mat. Take this back foot and lay it flat on the mat. Hands come down. Front foot goes back. One knee push up. Place this back foot down on the mat. Lift the knee. Place the knee back down. Now your back foot comes forward again. World's greatest stretch. So picking up the hand that's farthest from your foot, laying that forearm on the mat, twisting your body thoracically. Bring the hand back down. Come up. Press that knee out. Stretching the hip flexor. Now bring the knee back to center. And lean back with your booty. Stretching your hamstring and your hip flexors. Lift the booty. Curl these back toes back under. Come up to stand and pivot back front to return to your starting position. So that's it. That's the sequence. We're just going to complete that as many times as we can before our 10 minutes is up. I know it's a lot. I'm going to talk you through the first few sets so that you get the hang of it and you kind of get it in your body and you get to understand the flow of it. But just keep moving, okay? If you skip a part here or there, it's really not the end of the world. Just keep going, try to keep the movement smooth and just try to keep moving, keep stretching, keep focusing on your breath. We want this to just be kind of slow and mindful. But that's it, that's part one. Now part two is going to be 20 minutes of Tabata-style HIIT. So Tabata means something very specific. A lot of people kind of use Tabata and HIIT interchangeably, but they're not really the same thing. So Tabata means specifically 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 8 rounds. That's Tabata, and that's 4 minutes. So there are 5 different exercises. We're going to do each exercise for 4 minutes before moving on to the next one, and that's our 20 minutes. So it's going to take just a little bit longer than 20 minutes. That just depends on how long it takes you to transition from one exercise to the next, how long of a rest break you need. So your goal is to keep those rest breaks as short as you can so that this feels like this part two, this 20 minutes of Tabata-style HIIT, feels like one continuous 20-minute long workout as opposed to 5 little teeny tiny 4-minute workouts. So let's quickly go through these 5 exercises because I really am pressed for time today. So I'm starting with a 1-leg glute bridge raise, and to increase the difficulty, I'm going to place my foot on top of my oogie ball. Now this pink oogie ball, there are different colors. The pink one weighs 8 pounds. So the 8-pound ball works well for me. You may need to use something lighter or heavier. That depends on your strength and on your level of fitness. Of course, it also depends on what you have available to you and how hard you're looking to push yourself today. So please consider all of those factors when choosing your weight and make the decision that is best for you. I know that not a lot of people have this specific ball. I love this ball because it's kind of a hybrid between a medicine ball and like a Swiss ball or a balance ball, but really any kind of exercise ball will work for this. So if you have an exercise ball, go ahead and get that ready. We're using it today, but if you don't have one, don't worry. I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. But in this case, I am not using my ball as a weight. I'm using it as an unstable surface. So that's the way we're increasing the difficulty. Now, if you don't have a ball, but you do have an elevated surface that's roughly this high off the ground, like a step or a low plyo box or one of those like little kiddie chairs or something like that, you can elevate your foot on something like that. You will lose the difficulty of having your elevated surface be unstable, but it's still going to be a great exercise if you elevate your foot on a plyo box or a low chair or stool or something like that. Just make sure that your elevated surface is not going to slide from underneath you. So for example, if you're going to use a low chair or stool or something, maybe place it on top of your mat so that it stays put. I'm going to be placing my foot on top of my oogie ball, and my other leg is just going to be extended out to this, or straight out in front of me. And now I'm going to press my foot into the ball and lift my hips up as high as I can towards the ceiling. And then I'm just going to lift and lower my leg with control, okay? Lift and lower the leg, keeping this leg more or less straight. It is absolutely fine if there's a soft bend to your knee because you lack flexibility. That's absolutely fine, but you're not crunching the knee in. You're keeping the leg more or less straight and just lifting and lowering the leg. Okay, make sure as you're up here that you're really actively pressing your heel into the ball the whole time. Make sure your glutes are strong and tight and engaged the whole time. And that's it. So we're on 10-second rest intervals, 20-second work intervals. So I will do one work interval on this side, on this leg, and then I think I'll switch legs with each work interval. For a second I was going to do 4 on one leg and then switch to 4 on the other, but I think I'd rather just switch legs with each interval, so that's up to you. As long as you end up doing a total of 4 intervals on each leg, that's what matters. So without the ball, again, if you don't have a ball, you can elevate your foot on some other type of elevated surface. If not, you can do this exact same exercise with your foot flat on the mat, okay? So just press your heel into the mat, lift your hips up as high as you can, and then lift and lower the leg. Still a great exercise, still super challenging. All right, so that is your first exercise with your equipment-free substitution. Next is dead bugs. We do these all the time. So let me show your equipment-free substitution first. If you don't have a ball, but you do have like a kettlebell or dumbbells or something like that, you can absolutely do this while holding on to a set of weights or household items. So if you want to add weight to this, you can grab a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles. If you don't have dumbbells or a kettlebell that you can hold on to, you could also hold on to, like if you have a smaller medicine ball for this, that would work. But any type of weight will work. So you could grab shampoo bottles or water bottles. You can fill them with water, or if you want, you might be able to make them a little bit heavier by filling them with something like uncooked rice or kitty litter or dried beans, powdered laundry detergent, something like that. So get creative and use what you've got. As long as you are able to maintain a secure grip on your weight, you're not going to drop it on your face and injure yourself, or you're not going to drop it and like break something and make a mess. And as long as it's not too heavy for you, then any number of household items will work. But you don't have to add weight if you don't want to. It's just an option. So what you're going to do is come down onto your back on the mat, lift both feet, and you're going to have your feet elevated with your knees at about a 90-degree angle, and then you're going to extend your arms straight up overhead. One at a time, you're going to straighten your knee and lower your heel down to the ground with control and lightly tap your heel on the ground. Then reverse the movement. Bring that knee back up and return to your starting position. Alternating legs with each rep. Doing your best to keep this leg that's staying put perfectly still. Now, as you do that, you can stay right here if you want, but as you do that, in order to do the dead bug, you're going to lower the opposite arm down to the mat and then return to your starting position. So as I lower this leg, I'm going to lower the opposite arm and then bring the arm back, bring the leg back, switch sides. So you're just doing opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, make sure that you are tilting your pelvis forward so that you really engage that deep core. So if I'm lying here relaxed, there's a curve in my low back. It creates a gap between the small of my back and the mat. And you see how I can fit my hand underneath there in between my back and the mat? We want to get rid of that. So you're going to tilt your pelvis forward, suck your belly button back towards your spine, and really press your low back into the mat. So see now, I can't get anything underneath there. That is going to really increase the effectiveness of this exercise, and it's going to protect your back. Okay, so make sure you're continuously pressing that low back into the mat. I'm going to be doing something very similar, but instead of having my arms straight up overhead, I'm going to have my hands on my oogie ball. So I'm going to be holding my oogie ball, just lightly pressing it, not really pressing, just kind of holding it in place. So as I lower one leg, I'm going to lower the opposite arm, but my other hand is going to stay on the oogie ball so it doesn't roll off of me, okay? But other than that, same exercise, just lowering, opposite arm, opposite leg, and then return to the starting position. Super simple, super effective, super tough. I'm going to be alternating with each rep. So each interval is going to look the same, but if you want, you could stay on one side and then switch to the other side for your next work interval if you really want to burn out on one side. Again, it's up to you. As long as you end up more or less even on both sides, that is what matters. Okay, so moving on. The next exercise, again, these are super tough, but it's a really great ab exercise and a really great core exercise. So I'm going to be in a plank position with my feet on the ball, and I'm just going to tuck my knees into my chest and roll the ball if it wants to roll. Sometimes it doesn't roll. I'm gonna roll the ball in and then reverse the movement, roll it out. Super simple, super tough. Roll it in, roll it out. Okay, so again, in your plank pose, make sure your head is in line with your spine. So it's like you're standing with your back up against the wall and lightly pressing the back of your head into the wall. That's where you want your head to be. So don't allow your head to kind of droop down like this. You also want to make sure your shoulders are away from your ears, so make sure you're not sinking down into your shoulders. Press the ground away from you, shoulders away from the ears, and bring your head in line with your spine. Your abs should be super strong and tight and engaged. You want your body in one straight line from your heel to your shoulders. Okay, and then you're just bending your knees, tucking the knees in towards the chest, rolling the ball with you, and then reversing the movement, straightening the legs, rolling the ball back, and return to your starting position. Now, if you do not have a ball, you really can do any plank exercise you want. So what's probably going to be the most similar would just be knee tucks. So coming up into your plank position. And again, if you want to increase the difficulty, you could elevate your feet on a short plyo box or a step, like the bottom couple of steps of your staircase, a park bench, a stool, a piano bench, something like that. Okay, so if you want to increase the difficulty, you can elevate your feet. But if you don't want to increase the difficulty, or you don't have a strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface that you can safely use for this, then just do it from a plank position. Just tuck one knee at a time in towards your chest. Okay, super simple modification. Now, the next exercise is going to be plank jacks. So I'm going to be doing elbow plank jacks. I'm going to rest my forearms on my oogie ball. And again, I'm in a plank position, so head in line with the spine, body in one straight line. I'm going to come up into my plank position and I'm just going to jump my feet out and back in. That's it, super simple. So it's exactly like you're doing a jumping jack, but from a plank position. And I am doing an elbow plank as opposed to a high plank, and I am resting my elbows on my oogie ball. Okay, so if you do not have a ball, just do plank jacks. So starting here in your plank position, and then just jumping the feet out and in. Super simple, but super tough. All of these exercises are super simple, but super tough. So that was our fourth exercise. The final exercise is going to be mini squats or mini squat pulses. We're just gonna squat and pulse, okay? So again, it's super simple, but it's super tough. So make sure that your shoulders are back and down. Make sure your chest is lifted nice and high. Make sure your abs are super strong and tight and engaged. You're pushing your booty back so that your back stays flat and the weight stays in your heels as you sink down into your squat, and then you're just going to pulse. And that's it. That's the exercise. Super simple, but super tough. That is your equipment-free modification. I am going to be doing that same thing while squeezing my oogie ball in between my knees. Okay, so for this exercise, I'm actually using the ball as a weight. So if you have a medicine ball, you can use a medicine ball like that. You also could use a resistance band. You can have a resistance band around your thighs while you do this. Wouldn't be exactly the same, but it would be a great exercise and a great substitution if you don't want to add weight or you don't have a ball, but you do want to add difficulty. And of course, you could also hold on to weight. You could hold on to a medicine ball or a sandbag or a kettlebell or dumbbells or household items. You could hold them in front of you like this while you do your squats, okay? So really, any squat variation you want to do will work, but that's it, that's all 5 exercises. So let's just go through the format again very quickly so that everything is clear. So again, the workout is split up into 2 parts. You can do just part 1 if you want to do a 10-minute workout. You can do just part 2 if you want to do a 20-minute workout, or you can do parts 1 and 2 if you would like to do a 30-minute workout. So assuming that you're doing the whole 30 minutes with me, here's how it all fits together. We're starting with our 10-minute AMRAP. You have your little body weight combo that I demonstrated. We're just going to complete that combo as many times as we can while the timer counts down 10 minutes for us, and that's part 1. Then we'll move directly on to part 2. Part 2 is our 20 minutes of Tabata-style HIIT training. That's those 5 exercises I just showed you with my oogie ball. We're going to do each of those exercises for 4 minutes. 8 rounds of 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals for each exercise. So you'll do one exercise for 4 minutes and then move on to the next one. You'll do each exercise for 4 minutes before moving on to the next one. 5 exercises, 4 minutes on each exercise. That's our 20 minutes. Hopefully that is all clear. Just remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. I'll do my best to talk you through it as we are going. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we are doing today, or if you have any doubt about how to do these exercises with the correct form, please just ask. It's very important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you get the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And you guys know it's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. If you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications, I'm right here. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. And I also just want to remind you before we begin to please make sure that you are working to your own level. Be smart, be safe, Listen to your body. Don't push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. Make sure you're going at your own pace and make sure you're not sacrificing your form for speed. I hope I've covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and start the workout, make sure that you have something soft beneath you. So grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. Grab a medicine ball if you have one. If not, maybe you want to have some weights ready, a kettlebell or dumbbells or household items. Maybe you want to incorporate some resistance bands. For once today, I'm not using my jump rope, so if you want to add jump rope to the workout, great, grab a jump rope, but I'm actually not using a jump rope today, very rare these days. So pause the video, gather whatever equipment you need, get dressed, and when you're ready, meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick 5-minute warm up, and then we'll go ahead and get right into the workout. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up. So you're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. Your arm is completely relaxed. You're just allowing gravity to do all the work of gently stretching the other side of your neck. And now we're going to do the other side. So you're going to allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed. Hand is just resting on top of your head. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Don't let them creep up here by your ears. Shoulders down and back, away from the ears. Next, we're gonna do some head rolls. So start by allowing your chin to fall towards your chest and then towards the other shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one side to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier. Your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll. And you're increasing your range of motion each time you roll back and forth, letting your entire torso just fall down in front of you. Next, we're doing shoulder rolls. So just rolling the shoulders to the back. Exaggerate the movement. Make the circles as big as you can. Really explore your full range of motion. Next, we're doing arm circles, but we're going to start small with our arm circles. So extend your arms out to the side, and you're going to begin by just making small circles. But gradually, as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you're exploring your full range of motion, making those circles as big as you can. Now step your feet out so they're a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And just like we're doing in part one of the workout today, we're gonna do these little plie squats. So each time you sink into that squat, expand your range of motion a little more. Just bending the knees, sweep the hands down in front of you, and then stretch. Keep your feet planted right where they are. We're lunging side to side, nice and easy. Now add the arms. So with each lunge, you're reaching your arm across your body. It's like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're gonna march in place. So step the feet in and just march, starting with your knees low. But gradually, you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest, until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. We're gonna do the same thing with a nice light jog. So just jogging in place, knees are low to start. And slowly you're gonna start driving your knees up towards your chest. As high as you can now. Next is booty kicks. So it's still gonna be a nice light jog, but with each step, now you're bringing your foot behind you. Try and kick yourself in the booty cheek with your heel. For this next one, you may need to hold onto the wall or a chair or something for support. If not, you can just have your hands on your hips. You're going to transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Just nice and loose. Same thing on the other side. So you're going to put this foot down, transfer your weight again. Pick up the other foot and just start swinging the leg in front of you, swing it behind you. You can start low and then just start expanding your range of motion. We're gonna switch legs again. So put this foot down, transfer your weight. Pick up the other foot, extend the leg straight out in front of you, and then bring the leg around and behind you, making a little semicircle. And with each semicircle, you're lifting your leg higher and higher. For the last two, you're gonna drive your knee up in front of you and use your hand to guide it around for a hip circle. Other side. So extending the leg out in front, and then bringing it around and behind, lifting the leg higher and higher each time, and then finally, 2 hip circles. Drive the knee up, use your hand to guide it around. We're gonna finish up with a quick hamstring stretch. So if you have a post or a chair or the arm of your couch or something, it just can make this stretch a little bit more accessible, a little bit easier, a little bit more comfortable to get into while keeping your back flat. You want to try to keep your back as flat as possible during this stretch, just to make it more effective. It really helps you to isolate the hamstrings. The flatter you can keep your back. And that's it. That's our 5-minute warm up. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into part 1 of the workout. If you're not doing part 1, remember you can use the chapter markers to skip over part 1, and you can go straight to part 2 if you just want to do your 20 minutes of Tabata-style HIIT. If you are doing part 1 with me, this is our 10-minute AMRAP. So get ready. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is our 10-second rest interval, just so we have a few seconds to get ready and we don't lose anything off of our 10-minute work interval. So starting with a squat, bend the knees, sweep the arms in front of you, and then straighten the legs. Reach up overhead. Now, side lunge, pivot, knee goes down, rest the top of your foot on the mat. Hands down, step this front foot back for a 1-knee push-up. Now set that back foot down, lift the knee towards the chest, pick up your back foot and step it forward again. Now, forearm goes down and twist. Spend a second in this stretch. Come up, pushing the knee out, stretching that hip flexor. Now bring the knee back in, straighten that front leg, and bring your booty back to your back heel. Lift the booty, press the hips forward again. Now curl the toes under on that back foot. Stand, pivot back to face front, okay? That's the combo. So now other side, squat and reach. Now lunge to the other direction, pivot so that you're facing this wall. Back knee goes down, hands down, 1-knee push-up. Tuck the knee in towards the chest. Step the foot forward. Twist and stretch. Now come up, press the knee out, and bring it back. Straighten the leg, push that booty back. Lift the booty back up. Now curl the toes under, come up, and pivot front. Okay, I'll talk you through a couple more, but you see there's a flow to it, all right? So, squat and reach. Side lunge, pivot, back knee goes down, hands down. 1-knee push up, put the foot down, tuck the knee in towards the chest. Now bring this foot forward again. Stretch. Come back up. Push that knee out. Stretch the hip flexor. Now bring the knee back in. Straighten your front leg. Push the booty back. And now lift the booty. Push the hips forward. Curl those back toes under. Back into your side lunge and pivot forward. Other side. Squat. Side lunge. Pivot. Push up, knee tuck, stretch. Knee, hamstring stretch. Come back up into your side lunge and pivot. All right, got about 6.5 minutes left. So let's keep going. This isn't high intensity, but let's just keep moving, okay? Keep focusing on your breath. The movement should be mindful and deliberate. Forgot my knee tuck. It's okay. Like I said, if you skip a part, just keep moving. Try to keep it flowing as much as you can. Making sure the movement is mindful and deliberate. Make sure you're really focusing on your breath. Three more minutes. right, that's it. That's part one. And that is a nice little 10-minute mobility workout that works as a standalone workout if you just want to do 10 minutes of mobility training today. So if that is all you're doing today, fantastic. Thank you for joining me. You are not quite finished yet though. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So you have just one more rep left to go. If you are continuing on with me, then we're going to get into part two in just a minute. But first I'm going to do a solidarity bonus burpee with those people who are not continuing on. So if you are doing part two, you can just rest right now. This would be a good time to towel off, get a sip of water. But if you would like to join me in a solidarity burpee, let's just do one bonus burpee in solidarity with those people who are not continuing on and doing part two. So when you're ready, here we go. So if you are not doing part two, your workout is now officially complete. But I recommend that you use the chapter markers to skip ahead to the cool down. I'm gonna do a quick 5-minute cool down with you, and then please remember to take time to stretch after the workout. About 15-20 minutes or so of stretching before you have your shower and eat some lunch and get on with the rest of your day. If you are continuing on with me, hopefully this mosquito is not planning on continuing on with me because I don't want to deal with another 20 minutes of batting this thing away. But if you are continuing on with me, I'm going to pause the video while I reset my timer. So again, if you need a little break, now's a good time to pause, get a sip of water, towel off, and as soon as you're ready, let's go ahead and get started on part two. I am starting with my glute bridge leg raises, and I'm going to have my standing foot on my oogie ball for a little bit of added challenge, but remember you can have your foot flat on the floor, that's fine. Starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and this is our 10-second rest interval. We always start with the rest interval so we have a few seconds to get ready and we don't lose anything off of our first work interval. So press your heel into the ball, lift those hips as high as you can, squeeze the glutes, extend your other leg straight out in front of you, and then just lift and lower the leg with control. Keep the leg as straight as you can. Making sure you're continuously pressing into the ball with that standing foot, and make sure your glutes stay super strong and tight and engaged. Switching sides, so pressing the other heel into the ball, lifting those glutes up as high as you can. Abs are super strong and tight and engaged. Your entire core is firing. You're lifting and lowering that leg with control. I'm switching sides with each rep. If you prefer, you can do all 4 intervals on one leg and then switch to the other leg. That's up to you. Just as long as you end up even on both sides, that's all that matters. We've got mosquitoes, we've got flies, we've got gnats, we've got it all. All right, I think it's just 2 more intervals on each side. So let's push. All right, that's it. That's our first 4 minutes. Now again, we want this part 2 to feel like one continuous 20-minute workout as opposed to 5 little teeny tiny 4-minute workouts. So take as long of a rest break as you need in between each of these 5 exercises, but challenge yourself to keep the rest break as short as you can. All right, so you want to challenge yourself, but you also only want to continue once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. Remember, you don't want to sacrifice your form for speed. So if you need a longer rest break, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. We're doing dead bugs next. So I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. Always starting with the rest interval. So use this time to get ready. And now you're lowering one heel down to the mat with control. At the same time, you're lowering the opposite arm down with control and pressing that ball into your knee the entire time, making sure that your lower back is pressed into the mat, okay? Remember, you don't want to be able to fit anything underneath the small of your back. So really pressing that low back into the mat, engaging that deep core. Make sure the movement is under control. You're not letting the leg drop down. You're not letting the arm drop down. You're lowering the leg with control, lowering the arm with control. Rest. I know it's hard. Keep checking in with that low back. Make sure you're continuing to tilt your pelvis forward. Think about pressing your low back into the mat. Think about sucking your belly button back towards your spine. Trying to touch your spine or touch the mat with your belly button. So that you really keep those abs engaged, keeping that lower core engaged, and really actively pressing your low back into the mat. I know it's hard. Remember, you can also be doing this while holding on to weights. But if it gets too difficult with the ball or too heavy with the weights, you can always drop them and do this without any added weight. So make the decision that's best for you. Just do your best to keep fighting. Not at the expense of your form, but it's only 4 minutes. We're only spending 4 minutes on each exercise, and it's only 20 seconds at a time. So push yourself as hard as you can. But make sure you're working to your own level. I know this is a really tough exercise. We're almost done. Just keep fighting for it. The next exercise is gonna be tough too. The next 3 exercises are gonna be tough. They're all tough. Just keep fighting. All right, that's our 4 minutes. So next, if you're using a ball, we're doing these plank rolls where we're going to be in a plank position with our feet on the ball. You're gonna tuck your knees in towards your chest and roll the ball with you. If you don't have a ball, you can be doing really any plank exercise you want, but knee tucks are gonna be the most similar to what I'm doing with my ball. And again, you can also elevate your feet on something like a small plyo box or a step or a chair or a park bench or something like that. All right, so it's gonna be super tough. This is a really, really difficult exercise. So just do your best. If you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'm gonna be crying after the first interval, but I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it, okay? So I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. This is our 10-second rest interval. So feet on the ball. Roll the ball in and then extend the legs and roll the ball back out, returning to your starting position. All right, I know it's hard. Just keep fighting. It's 1 interval down already. 7 more to go. So making sure that you're pressing the ground away from you. Making sure that you're keeping your head in line with your spine when you're here in your plank pose. Keeping that back flat as you're here in your plank pose. So really tighten up your abs. Make sure you're using your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. Your abs should be on fire. You might be feeling this in your shoulders or your wrists, but where you should really be feeling it, your point of failure should be your abs. Hi. 2 more. Last interval. Holy cannoli. You guys already know. If you follow my workouts regularly, you know I'm always crying. Always crying when we're doing abs. That was more than my little weakling abs can handle. All right, so next is plank jacks. You can do them with your hands flat on the mat. I am doing them with my elbows on my oogie ball. So I have this unsteady elevated surface to increase the difficulty. If you don't need to rest, just get right into it. My little abs are just still crying, so I need a minute. But that's 3 exercises out of 5 complete. That's one thing I like about Tabata training is that it always seems to go by pretty quickly. So a 20-minute workout, even though it's longer than 20 minutes because I'm taking breaks in between each exercise, it never feels long to me because we're just tackling it in little 4-minute segments. But I do want to keep it moving. I've said 6 times already, we want this to feel like one continuous 20-minute workout and not 5 separate little 4-minute workouts. So I don't want to rest too much. I mean, I do want to rest a lot longer because my abs are still just jelly. But I'm gonna go ahead and get right into this. It's gonna be super tough, all right? So just do your best. So if you need a longer rest break, again, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So I am coming up onto my elbows on my oogie ball, starting with my feet together, and then I'm just gonna jump the feet out and in. This is our one cardio exercise. So really make the most of that 10-second rest interval to focus on slowing down your breathing just a little bit. The sweat is ripping off me. Less than a minute left. Let's push. I thought there was one more interval left. I've never been more happy to hear that little series of beeps. All right. Good job. That sequence of 4 exercises back to back, and especially those last 2 back to back, I know was incredibly difficult. You see me crying. I'm doing it with you guys, so I know it was difficult. So obviously I was not able to make it through the entire work interval on those plank jacks without pausing to rest. So I just took short little rest breaks where I needed to, and I did my best to get as many reps done as I could during the work interval. So you guys, your best is always good enough, right? Remember that. So let your best be good enough. But that was our 4th exercise out of 5. So that means we have just 1 exercise left. You can do any squat variation you want. I'm doing mini squat pulses, and I'm going to be squeezing my 8-pound Oogie ball in between my knees. Remember, you could use a resistance band around your thighs for this, or you could hold a weight in front of you, a kettlebell or some dumbbells or household item, or you can do it without any added weight, okay? So, just 4 more minutes left. Let's go ahead and get this done. So if you need a longer rest break, again, just pause the video when you're ready to tackle this 5th and final exercise. Come back. Here we go. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. Starting with our 10-second rest interval, so get ready. And now I'm squeezing my ball in between my knees. I'm gonna squat and then just pulse. This adds difficulty not only because this has weight to it, it's not super heavy, but it does weigh 8 pounds, but also because in order to keep the ball from falling I have to be continuously squeezing my knees together. So it's really working my inner thighs as well as my quads, my glutes, and of course my core is on fire still. My ball, after all these years, is no longer quite round from doing stuff like this. Squeezing it, it's become kind of oblong. It's kind of funny, it actually stands up on its own in the middle like that. No, it's not gonna do it for me. It's like that little Warner Brothers frog. This frog can sing and dance. I don't believe you, show me. Look, see for yourself. Ribbit, ribbit. Liar. And then as soon as the person leaves again, oy, the little froggy's like, hello my baby, hello my honey, hello my ragtime gun. If I keep babbling nonsensically, it distracts me from the pain. And maybe time will be up before I know it. Still in quite a bit of pain. Whew. My quads are just, this is so intense to do for 4 minutes. Especially with the ball. I have no idea how many intervals are left. Just gonna keep pushing. So again, I'm just not able to make it through the entire work interval without pausing to rest. Just not strong enough. My quads are too spent. So I'm taking little rest breaks, just trying to keep them as short as possible, just for like a breath or two. Oh. That's it. That's our 4 minutes of mini squats. That's our 20 minutes of Tabata-style HIIT. That's part 2. And that's the workout. Amazing job. We are not quite finished yet. Remember that no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete, even if you already did a solidarity bonus burpee with me earlier after part 1. If you continued on and did part 2 with me, then that means your workout is not complete yet. So you still have to do 1 more bonus burpee. The bonus burpee is the thing that completes the workout. So it kind of has to be the last thing that you do. So even if you did a bonus burpee already, let's just go ahead and do 1 final bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. Oh, 1 more deep breath. And when you are ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. So So let's go ahead and do a quick cool down together. You want to start by just kind of pacing around, or you can kind of shift your weight from side to side, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit. The main point is that you just want to keep moving, keep the circulation going while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So let's just go ahead and do a little bit of light stretching. We'll start with a shoulder stretch, bringing one arm across your body, using the other arm to pull it in towards your chest, and make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed. Make sure the shoulder is completely relaxed. If your shoulder is all hunched up by your ear and tense, you're not going to be able to stretch it. The muscle needs to be relaxed so that you can get the benefit of the stretch. So now let's shake it out. And we'll get the other side, bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in towards your chest. Make sure your arm is relaxed, shoulder's relaxed. Feel that stretch in your shoulder. And while you're stretching your shoulder, make sure you keep moving so you can just pace around. Or you can do what I do. I usually just kind of shift my weight from one foot to the other. You can shake out the legs, but keep moving and keep focusing on your breath, okay? Shake out the arms. And now we're gonna do a quick tricep stretch. So you're gonna bend one arm, place your opposite hand on the elbow, and then just gently pull your elbow towards your opposite shoulder. Feeling that stretch in your tricep, and making sure that your free hand is relaxed. Your fingers should be pointing straight down at the ground. So you want to make sure that your free hand is not hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So relax your arm, relax the hand. The fingers should be pointing straight down. And again, just keep pacing, shaking out the legs, shifting your weight from side to side. Just keep moving, and make sure you're continuing to focus on your breathing as well. So let's get the tricep on the other side. Bend your other arm. Place your opposite hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. The hand on your free hand should be relaxed, fingers pointing straight down at the ground. Keep moving and keep focusing on your breath. So deliberate breaths. All right, you're trying to slow down your breathing. So long, deep, controlled breaths. The whole thing should just be very mindful, okay? So shake out the arms, shake out the legs. We'll finish up with a quick quad stretch. So if you need to hold on to the wall or a chair or something for balance, that's fine. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, and then reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands and press your heel into your booty cheek. Really, really press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you're doing that, make sure you're tilting your pelvis forward the same way we did for our dead bugs, right? As we were trying to press our low back into the mat, we were tilting our pelvis forward and sucking that belly button back towards the spine. That's what you want to do now, okay? So tilt the pelvis forward, making sure that as you do that, you're continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek, and of course, making sure you're continuing to focus on your breath. Shake it out. And let's do the other quad. So bending the opposite knee, bringing the foot up behind you. Reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands and press your heel into your booty cheek. At the same time, tilting your pelvis forward. So you're kind of tucking your booty underneath you and trying to touch your spine with your belly button. As soon as you combine those two elements of tilting your pelvis forward while continuing to really, really press your heel into your booty cheek, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscle as you isolate the quad muscle. And it's also going to help to stretch out your hip flexor a little more. That's it. That's our little cool down. So if you feel that you're still breathing heavily and your heart rate is still elevated, then you really can just continue to kind of pace around for a couple more minutes, and you can incorporate a little bit more light stretching into the remainder of your cool down. That's a great idea. Just remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you're taking a good 15 or 20 minutes to stretch every day. If you can do it immediately after the workout, that is going to be the most effective and the most efficient time to get it done, because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. So if you have time, go ahead and do your stretching now. If you don't have any time right now, that's fine. And remember, it doesn't matter what you do for your stretching routine, and it doesn't matter when you get your stretching routine done, just as long as you're doing it. It's really important that you're taking the time to stretch every day. Stretching every day is going to help alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and it's going to improve your flexibility. So if you put off your stretching until later in the day, that's fine. Just remember to take a couple minutes to warm your muscles back up before you begin stretching. The same way we take 5 minutes to warm up our muscles before we begin the workout. You want to make sure you're doing the same thing before jumping into your stretching routine, so that again, you reduce your risk of injury. You're lessening the likelihood that you're going to overstretch or strain something or pull a muscle. But that's it. The workout is now officially complete. Our cool down is complete. All that's left to do is our Monday mobility challenge. It is Mobility Monday, so I found another mobility challenge. I think I found this one on YouTube. Let's take a look at it together. We'll watch it together so that you can see the movement, you understand what it is that we're trying to do, and then you can try it with me. All right, so I'm watching the YouTube short right now. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at. We'll watch it together a few times so that we understand the movement. All right, I tried the teacup challenge to see how healthy my shoulders are, period. Okay, so that's really not a teacup, but anyway, he has his cup on a plate, and then, so he's just doing the same thing on both sides. So he's starting by kind of twisting. Can I do it? Question mark. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. Let's watch it again. So he's starting by twisting his wrist underneath his elbow, and then twisting it around again. Okay, other side. So first he's going in and like underneath his elbow, and then he's lifting his hand up. Let's watch it one more time, just so we really kind of understand the movement. So first kind of inwards and underneath, and then he's lifting his hand up above his shoulder, and then he's rotating his shoulder back the other way. So underneath first, then lift the arm up, and that's it. So we're testing shoulder mobility today, which I don't do a lot of. Most of the challenges I find, honestly, are testing hip mobility or spine mobility, and I have really good hip mobility, pretty good spinal mobility. Shoulders, not so much. Shoulders are not my strong suit, especially, you guys remember I was having all these issues. So I'm not quite certain I can do it on the right side, but it's the left side that's really concerning me. I don't know if I'm going to have the mobility on this left side to get it done. So we'll see what happens. So you don't need a mat for this mobility challenge today. So all you need is a cup and a saucer. I'm just gonna grab a little plate and a plastic cup like he did. Please, plastic, because unless you're like super confident in your ability to nail this on the first take, yeah, I don't want anybody making a mess or breaking anything or stepping on a shard of broken glass with your naked feet or anything. So again, please be smart, be safe. I will be grabbing a plastic plate and a plastic cup, and then we'll give it a shot and see what happens. All right, I've got my plastic plate and my plastic cup. Yes, I still have all of the dishes that I stole from the dining center when I was in college, and what? All right, they're perfect for this. So I'm going to just place my plastic cup on top of my plastic plate. I'm so nervous. I really don't know what's gonna happen here. All right, so I'm gonna start on my right side because I'm slightly more confident on the right side. So if I can get through it on this side, then we'll see what happens on the other side. So I'm just balancing my plate on my palm, and now we're going to start. He went underneath first, so he brought the plate in towards his belly, and then underneath, his elbow, and then we have to kind of lift it up. Oh, I'm shaking. I think I might get it. Oh my God, don't jinx it. Okay, no, we have to keep kind of, I'm like staring at this thing. I've got my gaze is like locked in, like that's gonna help me. Okay, that's it. I did it on one side. I'm like breathing heavily. Okay, that's a relief. Now we have to try it on the other side. So switching hands. All right. Deep breath. I am not confident on this side. So same thing. So we're starting going underneath. So you're gonna bring it in first towards your belly. Okay, and then kind of underneath. Oh, this is the part where it's hard on this side. Okay, up. Oh, it's sliding to the edge, but I did it. It was definitely a lot harder on this side. I'm still struggling with my mobility on this side, but oh my God, I couldn't have even come close to that towards the beginning of this year when I was like at the worst with this, whatever was going on with this shoulder. So that means that my shoulder really has come a long way. I feel great about that. And you guys, I think I did it. I mean, it was not as pretty on this side, but I did it. I didn't drop my cup. So yeah, success. Very exciting. Now, if you did not get it, remember that our rules for Mobility Monday, the mosquito is back, fantastic. All right, warped wall rules, okay? Just like on American Ninja Warrior, when they get to the warped wall, they get to try it once, and if they fail, they get to try it 2 more times, as long as they make it to the top and beat that wall within those 3 attempts. That is a success. All right, they have not failed the challenge unless they fail all 3 times. So you get 2 more chances to get it right. So if you were successful, then you can do these 2 more chances with me anyway. Maybe just to make sure it wasn't a fluke, which mine might have been, or maybe just to kind of clean it up. You know, I like to get mine looking nice and clean so that I can make my own YouTube short and make a reel to share on Instagram. So I'm going to do it a few more times anyway, but if you were not successful, let's go ahead with attempt number 2. So take a breath if you want, shake it out. When you're ready, here we go. So place your plate on your palm, place your cup on top of your plate, and now you're gonna circle that hand in and underneath your elbow. Lift the plate up overhead, circle your elbow out and around, and return to your starting position. Now we have to repeat it on the other side. So you're going to transfer your plate into your other hand, and then again, you're going to start by circling your plate in towards your belly, underneath your elbow. And now lift the arm up, over your shoulder. Elbow comes around to the side, back in front, and return to your starting position. We did it. The first time was not a fluke, and I feel like that time was a little bit cleaner. So I'm very, very pleasantly surprised that I am able to do this. So if you did not get it yet, we get 1 more chance. Okay, so really just breathe, shake it out, and really make sure that you are staying focused. For me, it helps to really, I know I was like making fun of myself, but it really helps to kind of stay locked in with your gaze on the cup, I think, because it really kind of, that mind-body connection, it reminds you of what you're trying to accomplish, okay? And just slow and steady, don't race through it, okay? And just do your best. So, oh, these gnats and mosquitoes. This is reason number 870,000 why I can't stand summer. All these bugs bothering me 24/7. Leave me alone. All right, when you are ready, attempt number 3. Here we go. So, balance your plate on your hand. Balance your cup on your plate. And when you're ready, here we go. Circle in and under. Bring the arm up. Bring that elbow around and back in front. Other side. So switch hands. In and under the elbow. Bring it up. God, can you hear how I'm shaking? And around, and that's it. That's it, we did it, amazing. I was hopeful, but I really was not confident, especially in this left shoulder. So I am pleasantly surprised and absolutely thrilled that I was able to successfully complete this shoulder mobility challenge. So you guys, that's it. Another successful Monday mobility challenge in the books. So let me know how you did with it. Let me know if you were successful or not. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you are not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear about the format of today's workout, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions beyond what I have already provided, if you need help with beginner modifications, I am always here to help. So please just ask. That is going to do it for today. But before I say goodbye, I have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, I'll write it and we'll do it live. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, I'll write it and we'll do it live. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.